Welcome back, everybody, to Friday's edition of Behind the Grind. Today we have not one but two special guests. In fact, we have our first guest joining us right now from his work, our friend Chad Anheliger. Chad, how are you doing today, my friends?
I'm awesome, man. How you doing? It's Friday. It's a good day.
Yeah, of course. So, what's the plan for Friday? I know you're at work right now and everything, but what are you up to the rest of the day?
Friday's not a bad day for me. I work, and then when I head down, it's actually my light day at the gym. So we work some technique stuff, take it easy, and then Saturday morning is always when we spar and do our hard work. So kind of like Fridays, it's a little light for me. I actually get home at a decent time, rest up, and then have a fun Saturday morning.
Yeah, so we're just gonna get into the swing of things right away. I just want to know. I've heard a couple of different opinions on sparring, on training, like how they separate their days, I guess, for training. So talk to me about your schedule. How many times a week, I guess, do you spar down at your gym?
We're down to just 1 day a week, 1 day a week for MMA sparring. I don't do
Mm,
typically a lot of stand up sparring anymore. We'll do a lot of drilling, but yeah, try and take it easy on the body, man. I gotta be able to actually make it to the fight. So tons of jujitsu, wrestling, and rolling. Those you can always do live and hard, but we keep the sparring to once a week. We try to keep the intensity real high. And just do one short, hour-long sparring session on Saturday mornings, and that's it. Try to make it a little bit more realistic to what a fight is. So, we do our prep and the day before, and you eat, certain times and try to really plan out what you would do on a fight for sparring. But more and more as my career's gone on, I've done it for a long time. I used to spar all the time and hard all the time, but that's just gone now. It's a lot about drilling, technique, keeping your body fresh, and then adding some sparring when it's time to, be in a training camp and tighten up.
yeah, exactly. So, like you mentioned, I believe a lot of people, because they don't have the knowledge, I guess, when they're starting out in their MMA career or kickboxing career, whatever it actually is. So, doing that type of stuff, the type of sparring you do, how many times a week, I guess, is what forms you as a fighter. Because you can spar 4 or 5 times a week, but you're not going to be right in the head, correct?
Well, and it's true. And you know what? The sparring is needed early in your career because you got
Of
to
course, yeah.
test your heart, your cardio, put yourself into bad situations and work your way out. All it does is build your confidence and build your experience. But once you have that built, the payoff isn't as good. The payoff for the damage to the body versus the payoff of, working out of a bad position. Like, at this point in my career, I've been in all the positions. I don't really need to beat myself down that much anymore. Now I worry about keeping my body ready for fighting. Like, I already got the skills. It's just about getting prepped to perform.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into your crazy journey in your MMA career, but I want to know, you had a canceled fight not long ago. So talk to me. How did you deal with that kind of? I guess I can't even really explain the feeling to you, but can you explain to us how you felt after you heard that unfortunate news?
Yeah, man, it was a real bummer because the behind the scenes on that fight, me and Rise FC were working on trying to get an opponent for a long time for the card previous, and we literally couldn't get anybody. We reached out to almost 40 fighters with good records in North America, winning records, and nobody was taking this fight. It was really, really difficult. And then we found this guy, this Drake Bowen out of California. So awesome, all the negotiations with pay, and I was doing a lot of conceding just to make sure I could get this guy out here, and it was a real headache. And then finally we were done, and it was literally like 3 days later, events canceled, and then COVID really took over. So I didn't have a ton invested into that guy in that training camp, but I've had a lot invested over the last 6 months of trying to get an opponent. So that was a real bummer that it got pulled. So I'm just everybody's in similar boats, and I'm just trying to stay ready. Then when opportunities pop up, I'll be taking them.
Talking about boats, you mentioned it. We gotta about it. How are the sales going with the boats down at the shop?
Huge, man, loving it. I barely keep any boats here. Yeah, it's been a
Really?
wild year. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people have said it because of COVID. People are buying things like RVs and boats. You hear it, but I'm literally
Mm.
seeing it like it's crazy. We've sold like literally double as much as we sold last year. So COVID hit a lot of people hard, and it hurt my training a bit. But on the work side, I've been working more than ever. So it's been like crazy busy for me. So good with the bad.
Yeah, sorry I threw you for the loop there, but continue talking about your work. I find that interesting. So did you guys continue to stay open during the COVID shutdown?
Yeah, yeah, we're able to because we're a repair shop too, and anything with repairs and stuff like that was considered essential.
Mm.
So yeah, we kept rolling through, and like I said, yeah, I probably worked more through that summer of COVID than I have in all of my 10 plus years of doing this. So it was really busy. We were able to keep working, so it's awesome for me and our staff and the team, and not only that, but if I was not training and not working, man, that'd be tough. That'd be hard on me. I'm just not that type of guy. So I was lucky I could kind of throw myself into work for a little bit.
All right, so back to the important stuff here. Talk to me. You've had a crazy journey, as your brother Reese has told me. So from the very beginning, I believe it wasn't going your way, but you found that motivation to continue and push through that. So talk to me. Talk to me first of all the motivation that did help you push through that. Why and how did that happen?
Yeah, it was tough, man. There was a spot there where it was decision time. Like, what are we doing here? Did I come here to just, be okay and say that I did it, and say, oh, at least I climbed in the cage, or am I actually trying to accomplish something and move up rankings and potentially make a career out of this? And I knew what I wanted from day one, and I wanted to do this for real. I didn't want to just get in there. I didn't just want to, snap a profile pic of one way in and call myself a fighter. I was ready to do it, and then it just wasn't working, man. I was having a lot of problems, and I wasn't performing great. I had a really short amateur career. I only had one fight, and at the time, I mean, I've been fighting for over 10 years. So at the time out here, the amateur circuit really wasn't happening that great. There wasn't a lot of guys. There was barely any events. So at the time, it made a lot of sense to go pro. But I paid the price for it. I just wasn't ready in some ways. My skills were there, but I would just, stupid things would happen, and I would lose the fight. But at the end, so I went. I was 2-5 at one point, so I lost 3 in a row to put me at 2-5, which is really not good. And it was really hard on me. But in all of those fights, and I'm not just saying it, I was 100% confident that I was better than those guys. I could beat those guys. I just did stupid things, made stupid mistakes, combination with a little bit of bad luck. I know everybody has excuses for losses, but man, I really believe that I should have won those fights. So that's kind of what made me regroup. I changed gyms. I moved to Champions Creed at that point. Now, the proof is right there. I was 2-5. I went to Champions Creed. I've won 8 in a row since. So there's just, I don't even have to say it because it's just obvious in the results that how important that switch to that gym was to me. And I had to humble myself. I walked in and said, hey, I need to get better. What do I got to do? And Brian Bird, the head coach there, said, okay, well, put a gi on. Get a blue belt. Those are things I didn't do before. I just didn't think that it mattered for MMA, and he told me what I needed, not what I wanted to hear, right? And man, it just really paid off. And now I'm just riding the confidence and the experience. I'm just at a really good place right now.
Yeah, so and you've set up an 8 fight win streak. You've collected 2 belts on the way. You defended some. So how if you look back on how far you've come, how proud of you, I guess, and how proud of the people around you that you've actually come that far.
Yeah, it feels great, man, because it's a huge commitment. I've committed the last 10 years of my life to this, and that hurts social life, my work life, that hurts just everything, your physical body. I mean, I committed a lot to it. So it does feel really good that I can look back and I know that I feel like I got out of it what I put into it. If I had just fizzled out and left with a poor record, I really would have been disappointed in myself. But I don't feel disappointed at all. I'm really happy with what I've done. I'm happy with what I know what the commitment was, but I still am really happy with what I got out of it. So now anything extra on top of my career is just a bonus because I'm already happy right now. I'm satisfied. I feel really good about what I've done. So anything extra is it's for the people that supported me. I love giving it to my fans that get to see me in big fights and support me and cheer me on. So that's all what it's about now.
Yeah, so we've had a fan question come in. So the question is, if you had the option to sign to one promotion, like one any promotion, what promotion would that be? And give us a valid reason for that.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good
It's a
question
tough one,
because
but
yeah, times are changing, man. There's a lot of great promotions out there right now. It really is. But I mean, when it comes down to it, you got to chase the best fighters, and I think the best fighters are in the UFC right now. When I get into this, when I want to fight, it's all about trying to push myself as much as I possibly can. I never want to, hang my hat on my career and not know if I could have beat some of the best guys in the world. I'm going to find out. I'm definitely going to be fighting those guys one way or another. so I know, where I fit in. I haven't found my limit yet, so I'm just going to keep going higher and higher and higher until I do. I think all the best guys are in the UFC, in my weight class, especially. Bellator's got a pretty beefy 135 class right now too. I wouldn't mind testing myself over there, but UFC's putting on the most fights, got the most fighters. Keeps you active. I think that plays a big part in it.
And then another fan question, all the way from the Rise headquarters. How sexy are those Rise FC titles?
They are by far the cleanest, sparkliest, thickest, best belts out there for sure. Unquestionable. I keep one at my office actually, and customers all
Oh,
the
really?
time they want to see it, they want to grab it. So the number one comment every time is like, "Holy, this thing is legit. It's heavy. It's not some kind of
Yeah.
tin belt." So you can let that random fan know that they're pretty badass, and it looks even better when you got two of them.
No, for sure. So, you, I guess I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything, but this is true stuff. You hit rock bottom, I guess, and you found the motivation. Like you said, you made a switch and everything, and you climbed those ranks, and look where you are now. So, if you have to give that advice to that one person that maybe they will be in your position or they are in your position now, what is that motivation that you can give to them to get where you are today?
You know, that's a great thing. I've never really thought of that, but what I would say is, and I've said it before too to some of our students, is the time is going to pass anyway. So if something's going to take a long time to do, whether it's making it to a high level in sport or getting the accolades or title fights or whatever, if somebody told you right away when I first started training, if somebody told me it's going to take you 10 years of fighting pro before you win a title, would you still do it? And people are like, oh, I don't know, that's a long time, but man, that time's going to tick away anyway. At least this way, at the end, you have something. So even if it's a slow process, just keep chipping away because it will get there. The time is going to keep ticking by. So make sure you're at least collecting some skills along the way, even if it takes a long time.
Yeah, and another thing I wanted to ask you here is you have to tell us a little bit about yourself. So you showed who you are inside that cage. We know you work at Bass Pro Shops, but talk to us. What is something about Chris that we don't really know too much about?
Well, I'm a lot more average of a guy than people realize. One of the only ways to be in this sport for as long as I have is to have good balance in your life. So I've got great balance in my life. I do not kill myself every single day, block out friends and family, only focus on fighting because I know I'm not going to make it that long. I can only do that for a couple of years. So a lot of guys come real hot and heavy out of the gates thinking that they've got, fighting's the only thing they need to do. But, I don't really believe that. I think it's important to have balance. Spend a lot of time with my family, really close to my family. I don't mind drinking red wine and beer with my girlfriend and going fishing and going camping. Yeah, I mean, I live a very normal life except for the fighting part. That's the one thing that's different. I'm real busy, work a normal job. I still like to get outside, the outdoors, family, friends. I'm just as active in that as anybody. But on the flip side, I'm not sitting on the couch at home. And any of the free time I do have is committed to fighting. So I just have a great balance in my life. And that's what makes me, I don't feel like slowing down at all. I mean, I've been doing this pro for over 10 years and man, I feel great. I got no reason to stop. I still love going to the gym. I love training and I just have great balance.
Yeah, for sure. So with that great balance, you got to see some like Netflix TV shows, some Netflix movies in there. What's the best one you've seen from recent times, I guess?
And that's a tough question for me because typically, man, I'll go weeks and weeks and weeks without ever being able to turn on the TV. But it is actually something I like to do for a little bit of a break. If I have a night off, I like to sit down and watch a movie or something. But I recently watched Cobra Kai and I loved it. It was so awesome. I mean, the second season was starting to get a little weird, but the first season was awesome. Like I loved it. I was watching it and I didn't know much about I didn't hear people talking about it much, but I saw it and I clicked on it. And I was looking at the characters and I'm like, holy shit, those guys
Mm.
really look like the original guys. And then I was bored and I looked it up and I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit, it is the original guys. So yeah, it just was like, I don't know, it was really intriguing. I thought it was a funny show. It was cool.
Mm. Yeah.
So
So
highly
this last
recommend
one before I let you go
Cobra
here.
Kai.
Oh, I cut you off a
Yeah,
little
sorry, I was
bit. The
just saying,
internet's a
I
little bit
recommend
choppy.
it, Cobra Kai. Find the time for it and watch it. It'll be worth it.
Should we still watch the second season even though the first one's better?
Yeah, you kind of have to. You kind of have to, but just heed my warning.
Mhm. All right, so this last one I have for you, like I said, before I let you go, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time on your busy day down there at work. But this last one I have for you, Mike Perry weighs in, I believe it was like 4.5 pounds overweight. You gotta give me your thoughts on that. He says that he came to have an actual fight, not a fight with the scale. So talk to me. As a fighter, you have to have some kind of opinion on that, correct?
Yeah, I've definitely never missed weight in my career. I've fought people that have, and it's an advantage for the fighter that did make weight. The guy who didn't, very typically doesn't have a lot to do with anything besides just where they're at mentally. If they're fired up and they're really focused, they're going to make the weight. If you have some negative thoughts or some doubts in yourself, those things start weighing on you and you don't feel like going back in the sauna. Without the mental strength, you're never going to get the weight cut done. It's so much more than physical. So when I see it on somebody, I just don't feel like they want to be there as much as the other guys. So I actually like Mike Perry. I really was hoping he was going to go in there and have a great fight, but now, not that I'm not still hoping for him, but I really think that a guy like Means, who's a really mentally strong guy too, he's probably reading that the same way. He's saying, Mike's not as motivated to get in there and win as I am, and he's probably going to use that confidence in the fight and take him out.
Yeah, so something you have to explain to me is fighters sometimes they have this different kind of mentality on life. So how do you have a strong mentality, I guess? Is it just natural to you, or did you have to do something to work on that?
You got to find out. Some people, you got to dig deep. Put yourself in scenarios where you have to dig deep. Put yourself in scenarios that are unfamiliar to you, and then you kind of prove something to yourself. So when things get crazy and things get hard, and you put yourself in a wild situation, and then you really, come out on top or prove to yourself that you can handle it. You have to build your own confidence, right? So you find confidence in yourself by putting yourself in crazy situations. The more you do it, and the more you prove to yourself you can handle it, you're just gonna carry yourself different. You have, confidence and respect for yourself. Some people, I wish that they had more of it. Sometimes you go to dig deep and you come up empty-handed. Some people go to dig deep and they pull out world champions. So the only way to find out is to test yourself and to do it. So I feel like the fighters that have really pushed themselves and really dig down and they like what they find, it just carries through their personality, through their mentality, and everything.
And last one this time, I promise. I want to give you the opportunity to thank anyone who's helped you during these tough times and throughout your career. The floor is all yours.
Great, man. Yeah, it's been a lot of training, a lot of pain and miles on the body. 40th Rehab is a rehab center here in Calgary. They've been such a huge support to me. I would just literally not make it without them. My body would not stay together. So they're a huge, huge support of mine, and they're just the best in Calgary for sure. I have my strength and conditioning coach, Jason Pryor. Same thing. He's been with me for as long as my fight career has existed. So he's put in time and hours, and we're reaping the benefits. So I really appreciate his support. And of course, my gym, Champions Creed in Calgary, we got the best guys. We got the best MMA guys, the best jiu-jitsu guys, the best kickboxing, Muay Thai. It's just such a strong gym, and all we're doing is building more and more killers. So those are the big supports in me.
Awesome. So my friend Chad, like I said, it was a pleasure having you on today. Hopefully you're staying busy, you're staying motivated, and hopefully we'll see you back in that MMA cage very soon.
You bet, man. I appreciate it. Really do.
All right. You take care.
Later.
So there he was, Chad Anheliger. So like I said, it was a pleasure having him on today. He talked about his crazy journey in the MMA world, how he's staying motivated. He gives some advice on what you can do to stay motivated. But our next guest, we have Corey McKenna coming on very soon, around 4:30. So we still have a couple minutes to spare. But we got to do this commercial we have here. We have Young's Insurance. They got you. They got you covered. They are the best insurance in the Niagara region. Check them out on Young's Insurance today on the gram, the Instagram. All right. So we usually do this at the end, but since we have a little break, we will do our BTG Fighter of the Week. FOTW. All right, the Fighter of the Week. Oh, we already released it. The Fighter of the Week goes to AJ McKee. Pulled off that crazy submission for Bellator. Excuse me, pulled up that crazy submission that no one's really seen before in the MMA cage. In my opinion, I thought he was really just gonna kind of flip over Darian Caldwell with that and try and get up, but he pulled off the unthinkable there. Got that McKeatine. Remained undefeated at 17-0. That's an impressive record for a professional at 25 years age. Young, he is submitting guys with the McKeatine. He will take on either Emmanuel Sanchez or Pitbull, whoever the winner of that is. So he will face Emmanuel Sanchez or Pitbull. In my opinion, he will most likely be facing Pitbull. I feel that Pitbull is the much more experienced guy. He's got that knowledge of how to beat someone like Emmanuel Sanchez. However, if Emmanuel Sanchez does what he does best, he has a fighter's chance in there. He's got that forward pressure, just keeps moving towards you. He could really pour it on if he does that for the whole 5 rounds. If he pours it on Pitbull, he could pull out and snag the underdog win there. But if we're looking at the stats here, Pitbull does have the bigger advantage. I feel he will be the favorite, and I feel like he will pull out the victory to face Mr. McKee, the famous McKeatine specialist in the Bellator the Bellator Featherweight Grand Prix. Is it featherweight or bantamweight? I think it's featherweight. But however, Corey McKenna coming on very soon. We'll just be waiting for her to join us. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just put them in that question box down there. Hope you guys are all doing well. We got Corey McKenna coming on around 4:30. A couple minutes to spare. If you guys have any questions for Corey McKenna, feel free to also put those in there. Shout out to that one guest joining us live in the BTG studios. It is a pleasure to have you watching us today. We'll be waiting for Corey McKenna. There we go. Can you hear me all right? Mic check, mic
Hello?
check. Can you hear me?
No, you're breaking up.
Uh-oh. Mic check.
Hello?
Better? Nope, maybe. Hello, hello. Mm-mm.
Mm,
Any better? Nothing?
no, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect, yeah. Hear me now?
A little
Nothing?
bit. It's breaking up still.
Alright. Hopefully it's just the internet. Can you hear me? A little better? Mic check.
I can hear
Nothing?
you, but your video is breaking up.
Uh-oh. Alright,
Can
that's
you hear me
fine.
fine?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
That's,
Mic check, mic check. Any better? Oh, I think we're frozen. Mm-mm. There we go. We're back.
I can't hear you. I'm gonna try moving, see if it's my internet.
Alright, hopefully that's the issue.
Uh,
I feel
one
like it's an
second.
internet thing.
Is it any better out here?
I can hear you perfect. No? Nothing?
I still can't hear you.
Uh-oh. Oh, mic check. Nothing's working, eh? Man. Uh-oh. Hello, hello. No? Alright,
Sorry,
no worries. All good.
I can't hear you.
I can hear you, but thanks. Not working?
I can hear you a little bit, but it's like breaking up.
Is it? I hope maybe it's the internet somehow. Oh man. Alright, we'll have to try another time then. That's unfortunate. Nothing. Not good? No. No worries. Hello, hello. Mm-mm. You can't hear me? Nothing? Try. Nope. Alright, no worries then. Well, that's unfortunate news. I'll try one more time. Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh, I know you guys wanted to see that one, but some technical difficulties with this live stream. So I apologize for that one. We'll be seeing you guys next. Oh, unless this. All right, last try here. Crossing my fingers. Is it working? Oh man, no, no, I don't think it's working. That stinks. Nothing. No, I don't think it's working. Oh, that's cool. Like a robot. All right, I'm sorry then. Well, hopefully we'll be seeing you here on next week or sometime soon. Alrighty. All right, like I said, unfortunate news, some technical difficulties either on my side or on her side, but so must be mine. So hopefully we'll be seeing you guys next week. This internet stuff is going crazy, but hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We had Chris Anheliger, almost mispronounced it, but Chris Anheliger joined us, and hopefully we'll be talking to Corey McKenna if we figure this issue out. Hopefully soon. We'll be seeing you guys on the next week's episode of Behind the Grind.